What's up, guys? I came in my greenhouse to talk to you because the rain is pretty steady out there and it's cold. If this is not the most fitting end to the year 2020, I just don't know what is. I left you guys the other night. We were finishing dinner and packing up the kids for me to take them to my dad's house. We spent 2 nights at my dad's house. We were just able to get somebody out this morning to take a look at our septic tank. And the septic tank is in kind of a weird spot. This house was a foreclosure. We had no information on it when we bought it. Anyway, we broke the line trying to dig up the access to the septic tank. We finally got it. Thankfully, we were able to have the pump truck come and clean it out before, tonight's New Year's Eve, and we were going into a weekend where they were going to be closed. So thankful we were able to get this done before then. So we're literally cleaning out all the crap and starting fresh tomorrow on the first day of 2021. And I am being as much of an optimist as I can about this. I'm so thankful that we had the resources to handle it, that they were able to get out here. We had a really nice couple of nights with the kids, myself and the kids at my dad's house. And it was just a really enjoyable little mini vacay with them. Even though it was out of necessity, it was still really nice. But I'm ready to sleep in my own bed and get back to work on my farm. And hopefully this is all it is, and that there are no issues beyond this, and that we can use our plumbing again and get back to our house tonight. I really would love to ring in the new year at my home. So this vlog spans over 2 years. I started it last year and now I'm gonna finish it. It's January 2nd. We had a really restful first day of 2021 yesterday in our home. Everything was fixed. Maya and Benton worked really hard the other day to finish the job of getting our septic fixed, and they were able to do that. They ran into some issues and even overcame those. Goodness, it's chilly out here. Unfortunately though, Maya was not feeling great yesterday after being out in that cold rain all day. So we laid around a lot yesterday. We have officially reached that time of year where the farm is gray and brown and muddy. So now this has been another little bit of a headache to deal with. The pigs. So it was my desire to use these pigs to till up and prepare the garden space. We started over here and they actually did till this really well. We've since mulched it, but what happened is they got out of the fence, and you can see here they did a lot of digging, and this is where the garlic was, and so they actually dug up some of the garlic cloves that were planted. I still see some of them coming up, so there is still something here in the ground. But we wanted to avoid that happening again, so we moved them over here, and they effectively went through the electric fence. So Maya put up this little temporary pen. As you can see, they did their job. This garden spot is looking really prepared, but they keep getting out. Jeremiah's out here with a net right now. What do you want me to do? Stay right here?
Yeah.
So he actually erected this pen, but they're managing to get out of it as well. I'm assuming they dug under right there. Remember when the jailbirds were the biggest of our worries as far as loose animals? Now they seem perfectly docile in comparison to these little monsters. Tried to corner him and he broke the net. Jeremiah, do you love pigs?
I like my bigger pigs. Do what I want.
Oh, little booger. He's gonna go get some food and try that. Because we don't have a net now. I was like, do you want to just leave him out and see if he'll come back up later? He's like, do you want garlic next year? Because he's already eaten a good deal of your seed garlic. And I do want garlic. Oh, all the animals heard the four-wheeler fire up and they're singing. Oh, so much green out here. You can see the areas that are thinner. We're going through a lot of this food. still have a good deal out here, but you can definitely see where it's being used. And my new stuff is coming up and actually getting some growth. So I like seeing that. And I think that we'll probably be harvesting our first Brussels sprouts out here pretty soon. See those growing? Maya will be happier about that than he is about raising pigs at this exact moment. Oh, it's like slightly warmer in here. Not a lot warmer, but enough that it's nicer to be in here than outside. Good bit of space left here to sow. And soon, I've kind of left a lot of things like the dead peppers and the space where the cabbages we've eaten are and the broccolis that are, you know, harvested. Got a good deal of empty space, and here soon I'll sort of shift focus and come in and redeem all of those spaces, get them planted, as well as replanting my Greenstalk towers. I've got actually a new Greenstalk tower that's their new leaf one, where these have 5 tiers. The leaf one has 7, and they're more for like growing lettuces. And I have actually just been, I don't know, gearing myself up. I'll share a little bit of insight into my gardening process. So I value inspiration massively. For me, trying to do something when I have no like motivation to do it is just a billion times harder than stopping and like exciting myself over the task. I live in a place where we do have a winter. For me, through our winter, I have about a solid, you know, 8-week period where it's good to just take a rest. And I know some people live in areas with very long winters, and I understand that it's just a much different experience in this off season of gardening. Now I do have this garden, so I'm still harvesting when I need things, but this requires very little tending. There's no pest pressure right now because it's cold, and there really aren't any weeds in these beds that are mulched, and it's cold, and so it eliminates a lot of that stuff. So right now this garden is really just harvesting, but I've been spending the last few days coming out of the holidays just sitting in front of the fire or lying in my bed with my seed packages and seed catalogs, and really just like feeling inspired by the potential of what this year's garden can produce. For a long time I thought that was really silly, but I recognize now that there's actually a tremendous amount of value in that. It's kind of like pointing your heart towards something like that you want to invest your time and your effort and your energy and your resources in, by like allowing yourself, I know this is so poetic, I know that I wax poetic and some of you are like, ugh, but some of you feel me, and I'm speaking to those, like allowing yourself to be wooed by something, really. And so for me, that time spent kind of in the hibernation period of reading those different varieties and those seed catalogs, watching videos, just allowing myself to be wooed by the idea of the lush summer garden, it really gears me up to put in the necessary work and commitment, because it takes a lot. Do you know that that's actually why I shot my first garden tour? Whenever I first started those years ago, it was 100% for myself to be able to look back at during these months and like remember that it's worth the work. And like this beautiful space, it's still so lush, it's still so lovely, but you can really see kind of how things are, you know, emptying out, still producing, but there's a lot of blank spaces and dead stuff. And for me, like the first step of moving forward to reset this and reclaim it is not to just come in here and clean it up. The first step for me is to kind of set my mind on what I want to be here next. Like, and then that motivates me to come in and do what needs to be done to make that happen. And that is why I focus a lot of content this time of year on what I'm planting and varieties I'm trying and seed hauls and all of that stuff, because there's a lot of motivation in that for me. And I like to share that with you guys because I think it's really valuable. And according to your feedback, you think that too. Oh dang, it just started raining outside. Hey, you caught him.
I think it's a her.
Or her, you caught her.
She's mad.
She's very mad. No more garlic for you, little lady.
Did they mess up a bunch of garlic that was planted?
I see some of it. Like one of the beds they dug up was the future onion bed, and there wasn't anything in that.
Right.
One of them, yes, they definitely ate some of the garlic. But there's still plenty of garlic I can see sprouting. So they didn't get all of it, and I still have some seed garlic I can still plant. So it's unfortunate, but all is not lost.
Okay.
You're gonna lock her back up in the barn so she doesn't get out again. No more tilling jobs for you,
I
lady.
just gotta figure out how to get a hold of her while they're out. I think I'm just gonna tilt the crate up and reach in so she can't dash out the door.
Okay, come apart. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold this in so.
Oh, it's a male.
It's a male?
Yeah, you were right.
Guys, you have no idea until you have handled a little pig. You think that that pig looks small. They are so stinking strong. Even from when they're like 3 months old, they are so solid, so hard to grab hold of. Actually, when we got Fanny and Clementine, they were that size of this little pig we've been chasing around. He's now contained in the barn. He's not gonna be able to get out. He can't do any more destruction. But when we brought them home, one of them got loose, and we ended up spending all night, our first night as pig farmers, till about 5:30 in the morning. After driving back from Missouri and getting back in the middle of the night, we spent all night chasing this pig. Ended up pinning it next door in our neighbor's field. I had to take my shirt off and wave it like a matador. Jeremiah football tackled it. It was a really rude introduction into pig farming. And now anytime we have to chase a pig that size, it's like we're having like flashbacks. You can see here the digging that he did. Now this bed was empty because this is where I'm planting onions, but this did have garlic in it. And I can actually see, that's funny, that's a bean. That's left over from the Three Sisters garden. I see a few, like here's a little garlic sprout coming up, but up here, they dug up the walkways and they got in here, and I know there were garlics planted in there, so I don't know how many of those survived. Good news is it's not too late to replant garlic. For those of you who are still wondering, like if you got seed garlic and you didn't get it into the ground, if your ground is workable, you can put it in. Obviously, if you're in a place where the, top 12 to 24 inches of soil is frozen, that would pose a problem. But for the most part, if you can work the ground, you can plant garlic as late as January, and it'll still have time to develop and produce this year. Last year I planted all of my garlic in January just because I was late getting it in, and I thought, man, I'm not gonna end up having anything. And we had a crazy awesome garlic harvest by July. Hey girls. Over here, hey little polar goats, and hey puppy. Look at you guys, so fluffy. So fluffy. Oh, look how fluffy they are. I think goats with their winter coats are like the cutest things ever. Gabriel wants me to think he's the cutest thing ever. Look at them, they're so fluffy. The other benefit of embracing the warm by the fireplace, being inspired by seed catalog stage of the garden, is that it is so much nicer to be in there than out here where the cold just kind of seeps in. Hey little beautiful ones. Nope. Well, the runaway pig is caught, and I'm gonna head back in the house where it's warm. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for this quick little walk around. You'll be seeing more of me lately, coming out of my December rest and back into stage 1 of the 2021 garden, which is making a plan and getting inspired. God bless you guys. Till next time.